He had everything: the mansion in the Hamptons, the fleet of luxury cars, the private jet, the 167-foot yacht, named after the woman he claimed to love. At 30 years old, Jordan Belfort was making $50 million a year, and every single cent was stolen. His story begins in Queens, New York. A middle-class kid with a gift, a dangerous gift: the ability to make anyone believe anything. At 19, Jordan sold seafood door-to-door on the beaches of Long Island. He studied the hesitation in people's eyes and learned how to dissolve it, how to make a stranger trust him in 30 seconds. He discovered something that would follow him for the rest of his life. Words were weapons, and he knew exactly how to use them. In the summer of 1987, a door opened on Wall Street. Jordan was hired as a trainee stockbroker. He sat at a desk surrounded by men in expensive suits and realized that the entire game was sales, just bigger numbers. Then came October 19th, 1987. Black Monday. The market collapsed, and Jordan's desk disappeared overnight. He was 25 years old, broke, unemployed, and angrier than he had ever been in his life. But anger in the wrong hands is not a warning. It is a fuel. A colleague told him about penny stocks. Small, obscure companies traded over the counter with no oversight, no scrutiny. Standard brokers earned 1% commission on blue-chip stocks. Penny stocks paid 50%. Jordan Belfort looked at that number and saw a kingdom. In 1989, he founded Stratton Oakmont from a strip mall on Long Island. He recruited kids from the neighborhood, young men with nothing to lose and everything to gain. He trained them himself, hours, days, weeks, drilling a method he called the straight line system. Simple, relentless, ruthless. Control the conversation. Never let the client stray from the path. From the first word to the sale, a straight line. His salespeople were calling dentists in Ohio, retirees in Florida, a widow in New Jersey who had just lost her husband, and whose only safety net was her savings account. They did not care. They had a script and a quota. The scheme was elegant in its cruelty. Stratton Oakmont would acquire large blocks of shares in worthless companies. Then the phones would ring across America, voices dripping with confidence, promising that this particular stock, was about to explode. Clients bought. Prices rose. Jordan's team sold at the peak. Then the price collapsed. The company was worthless. Always had been. The calls stopped. The offices moved on to the next company, the next widow, the next retiree. Jordan called this the pump and dump. The rest of the world called it fraud. By the mid-1990s, Stratton Oakmont employed over 1,000 people. Jordan was earning more money than he knew how to spend, and he tried very hard to spend it. The parties cost $700,000 each one. He maintained a personal supply of Quaaludes, the sedative he called the fuel of kings. He consumed cocaine at breakfast. He crashed his helicopter in his own backyard and laughed. The yacht, the Naomi, was 167 feet long. It had a helicopter pad, a submarine, and a crew of 30. Jordan sailed it into a Mediterranean storm because, in his words, he did not feel like waiting. The boat nearly sank. His family nearly drowned. He laughed at that too, because men like Jordan Belfort, at the height of their power, believe they are untouchable, that the rules of physics, of law, of consequence do not apply to them. That belief is always the beginning of the end. His name had been on the radar of the FBI for years. Agent Gregory Coleman had been building a case. Slowly, methodically, as Belfort's empire grew louder and more reckless. Jordan knew. He had lawyers. He had money. He moved funds through shell companies in Switzerland. He paid associates in cash. He believed he was clever. He was not. In 1998, at 36 years old, Jordan Belfort was indicted on 49 counts of securities fraud and money laundering. The empire crumbled in a single morning. But here is where the story takes a turn that should make every one of us deeply uncomfortable. Jordan Belfort did not go quietly into prison. He negotiated. He cooperated. He wore a wire against his closest associates, men who had trusted him with their careers, their loyalty, their futures. He traded their lives for his own freedom. 22 months. That is what 49 counts of fraud earned Jordan Belfort. 22 months in a minimum security facility in California, where, by his own account, he played tennis, wrote his memoirs, and planned his next act. The judge commended his cooperation. The victims received nothing. The Wolf of Wall Street was published in 2007. It became a bestseller. In 2013, Martin Scorsese turned it into a film. Leonardo DiCaprio played Jordan Belfort. Charming, magnetic, impossible to look away from. The movie made $200 million at the box office. Jordan's cut. Millions. Again. The court had ordered him to repay $110 million to the 1,513 investors his firm had defrauded. As of 2023, 15 years after the order, he had paid back less than $14 million. The people who lost their savings are still waiting. The widow in New Jersey still waiting. The retiree in Florida still waiting. Jordan Belfort charges $40,000 for a motivational speech about integrity. There is a version of this story that Jordan Belfort likes to tell. The redemption arc. The man who fell and rose again. The cautionary tale that became a self-help empire. He sells courses. He coaches executives. He gives interviews about ethics and purpose. He smiles with perfect teeth in a Malibu mansion. And somewhere, in a modest apartment, an elderly woman opens a bank statement and remembers the voice on the phone that promised her everything would be fine. That is the real ending of Jordan Belfort's story. Not the yacht, not the film, not the speaking fees. The ending lives in her eyes. The universe has a long memory, not always fast, not always loud, but thorough. Jordan Belfort was given a rare and extraordinary gift, the ability to connect with people instantly, to make them feel seen, to make them believe. He used that gift to steal from them, and perhaps the deepest form of karma is not prison. It is not poverty. It is not public humiliation. It is living your entire life knowing that every time you speak about ethics, someone in the room knows exactly who you are, and what you did, and who you left behind. This has been Financial Karma, and if this story moved you, subscribe to Karma Unleashed. Every episode we follow the money and the consequences that never stop arriving. Next episode, another name, another empire, another fall. The history of financial karma is far from over. Subscribe, and we will see you on the other side.